Hello students, welcome to the new lecture, and in this lecture we are going to discuss the heterotropic nutrition. Okay, so heterotropic nutrition, what is meant by hetero? Hetero is nothing but these organisms are going to depend on other organisms. Okay, other organisms, it is nothing but example human beings. Okay, example humans. So these humans are going to depend on plants. Okay, they are going to depend on plants. So hence human beings, animals, and other microorganisms, they are heterotropic nutrition. They are going to depend on other, hence it is known as heterotropic nutrition. Okay, so the heterotropic organism are nothing but heterotrophs. Okay, we are going to call them as heterotrophs. Heterotrophs or heterotropic organisms, both are same. These heterotropic organisms cannot synthesize their own food material, so hence we are calling them as heterotrophs. So organisms adapt different strategies. What is meant by strategy? Strategy is nothing but method. Okay, strategies means methods. Okay, different organisms are going to adapt different strategies. Okay, for the intake of the food and also utilization of the food material. Okay, example, you may take the saprophytic nutrition. What is meant by saprophytic? Saprophytic, just we will discuss about the saprophytic, parasitic, everything. So first see what are the different types of the adaptation. One is the saprophytic. Okay, one is saprophytic nutrition. Next is the parasitic nutrition. Next, the internal digestion and is external digestion. These are the different types of the different types of the adaptations of a heterotropic nutrition. Okay, or you can call it the different strategies of the heterotropic nutrition. Okay, so now we will see one by one. We will discuss the one by one. What is heterotropic? What is the parasitic nutrition, internal digestion, and also external digestion? Okay, now first you will see saprophytic. These organisms are going to digest the material outside the body. For example, let us see, this is the food material. On the food material a bacteria is present, okay, or yeast is present. What is going to do? It is going to release the enzymes outside of the body. Okay, it is going to release the enzymes onto the surface of the food material, and the enzymes will digest the food material and turns into liquid, and this liquid or fluid is again taken back into the yeast. Okay, so here you can see larger diagram. So this is the yeast. Let us consider yeast. It is going to release the enzymes onto the food material. The food material will get digested. Okay, the fluid is taken back into the yeast. Okay, into the body. Okay, this is known as saprophytic nutrition. Okay, so this is known as absorption of the digested food material, that is known as saprophytic nutrition. Example is a bread mold, yeast, mushrooms. These are all are the organisms that will have the saprophytic nutrition in their body. Okay, next one will be the parasitic nutrition. Parasitic nutrition is nothing but out of two individuals. Let us see, this is the a cell or human cell or animal cell, and in the animal cell some bacteria live. Okay, if the bacteria is living inside the human cell or animal cell or plant cell, so the plant cell will be, this cell will be the host. Okay, and this cell will be the, this cell is the parasite. Okay, this is the parasite. Okay, so this is the parasite and host. Okay, or the parasite may live inside the cell or outside the cell or outside the animal. Okay, that is known as parasite. So in these individuals the host is getting lost all the time. The host will face losses and the parasite will get benefit. Okay, this is known as parasitism or parasitic nutrition. Only parasite will get benefited, host will not get benefited. All the time host will get lost. That is known as parasitic nutrition. Okay, these organisms, here you can see, these organisms depend on other organisms for the source of energy. So this parasite is depending on the host cell for the energy. Okay, sometimes, most of the times, this parasite will not kill the host. Okay, will not kill the host, and it will take nutrients from the host only. Okay, that is known as parasitic nutrition. Example, cascuta, that we will discuss about this plant. Next one will the lice. Okay, that will live inside in the head of the human beings or in the animals. Okay, so on the animals. Next, the leeches, tapeworms, these all are going to have such kind of a nutrition known as parasitic nutrition. So next is the internal digestion. Internal digestion means these organisms digest the food material inside the body. Okay, for example, you can take the human beings, animals. So what they will do, they will eat the food material. They will eat lunch or breakfast or dinner. So when they eat, what will happen? The food enters into the intestine, okay, or into the alimentary canal. In the alimentary canal, the food will get digested. So such kind of digestion inside the body, that is known as internal digestion, okay. So next, as the complexity increases, the different parts of the body become specialized. So what is meant by complexity? Let us see. This is the amoeba and this is the human being. Okay, let us see the amoeba and also human being. So what is the difference? You will see. Amoeba is a very simple microscopic organism, and human being is much complex and has some kind of weight like 60 kgs or 100 kgs and so on, depending upon the person. And amoeba even doesn't weight 1 gram also, okay. So compare the difference between these two individuals. A lot of variation, lot of changes are there. It means complexity is increasing from amoeba to the human being. As a result, if the complexity is increasing, the cells, different cells will specialize. What is the specialization? Specialization like further digestion, okay. So next is the respiration, okay, excretion. These are the different types of the functions. Not only these, there are many nervous system, okay. So endocrine system. Next, these all are the different things like circulatory system. These are different types of the systems are there. These are the specialized cells, okay. So next, for the particular function is nothing but for the digestion, particular system. For the respiration, particular system is there. So you can see here, you can see from the amoeba to human beings, a lot of complexity is increased and specialization also increased, okay. So in the amoeba, food is taken from the simple pseudopodia. In the textbook also you can see the diagram. Let us see, this is the amoeba diagram, okay. So on the amoeba, what will happen? A food material is there, a bacteria is there here, or food material is there here. What will happen? A pseudopodia. Here is the pseudopodia, okay. What is meant by pseudopodia? Pseudopodia is nothing but a finger-like projections that will form outside the body of the bacteria of the amoeba and will used for the taking food material. Now after some time, if you will see, the amoeba will look in this way, okay. And this is the food material that is trapped inside the amoeba. So this is known as a food vacuole. This is known as a food vacuole that is taken by the amoeba, okay. And after that, what will happen? The digestion, okay, digestion will occur, and also the waste materials will be thrown outside the body of the amoeba, okay. So this is the process how the amoeba is going to take the food material and excrete the waste materials, okay. So next is in the paramecium, the food moves through the cytostome with the help of cilia, okay. What is meant by cytostome? What is cilia? If you see the, let us consider this is the paramecium, okay. This is the paramecium, a slipper shaped animal in this way, okay, slipper shaped animal. So what will happen? This is the food web. This is known as a cytostome. Cytostome is nothing but for the food material, okay, for the food, cytostome, okay. This is a cytostome, is a food like, it's a mouth like structure used for the taking food material. The food enters into the food enters into the cytostome, okay. So here you can see the small hair like structure on the body of the amoeba. What the hair like structure will do? They will, let us consider this is the food material. The food material is pushed towards, or the food material is moved towards the cytostome or oral groove, okay. So as a result, the cilia is helping the food material to move towards the oral groove or the cytostome, okay, with the help of cilia. So such kind of a feature is seen in the amoeba, in the paramecium only, okay. So as a result, the food vacuole present formed over here, the food is present here. Digestion will occur. After digestion, the waste materials will be sent out of the paramecium through anal pore, okay. So this is the process how the digestion is occurring in the paramecium. Next is the parasitic nutrition in Cascuta. So Cascuta is nothing but it is a parasitic plant. What is meant by parasitic plant? It is a plant. It will not perform photosynthesis. It have little bit amount of chlorophyll, very little amount of chlorophyll, and some species of the Cascuta, no chlorophyll is present, okay. Even though some species have the little bit amount of chlorophyll, they will not perform photosynthesis, and they depend upon the host plant, okay. So dowder is a parasitic plant. It appears to be web like a thin stem enveloping the host plant. Let us consider this is the ground. On the ground there is a big host plant is there, okay. So on the host plant, what you will see, a small spider web like structure you will see all the time on the roadsides when you are traveling on the road, on the when you are traveling to any tour or any village, on the roadside you might have seen such kind of trees with spider like web like structure on them. So these are nothing but a thin wiry web like structure. They are known as dodder. Okay, this is known as dodder plant. Okay, how the dodder is going to climb the host tree and how it is going to get the nutrients from the tree, that we will discuss now. Okay, so dodder, it is a parasitic plant, appears to be web, just now we have discussed, and the dodder belongs to a genus known as Cascuta. It is going to be belonging to the morning glory family and Convolvulaceae. Okay, and it has 170 twining species. It means 170 types of the dodder plants are there. Okay, so first how it will be, it is the ground. So let us consider this is the plant. Okay, so the leaves are in this way, or we will draw another diagram. Okay, so this is, okay, plant. Okay, so first what will happen, the dodder. Okay, let us consider the dodder is, the seed of the dodder is present over here. Okay, the seed of the dodder is present over here. So the seed will germinate and it will produce a root system. Okay, first the root system is produced and also the stem is produced. So first what will do, it will search the host plants near to it. So if the host plant is there, it is going to attach to the host plant. When the dodder is attached to the host plant, what will happen, it will develop the anchoring roots. Okay, some amount of roots will be there. So these nothing but a small kind of penetration will be there into the host plant, that is known as Hastoria. So if you see here, this is the host plant. Let us draw the in the bigger manner. Okay, this is the host plant. So this is the dodder. So dodder will produce a root-like structure. These are known as Hastoria. This Hastoria will the Hastoria will be penetrated into the host plant. Why the Hastoria is going to penetrate into the host plant? Just to absorb the nutrients. It is going to penetrate its Hastoria into the host plant. Okay, so now what will happen, the roots that is present over here will get rot. Okay, the roots that is produced during the germination of the dodder, whatever the roots are there, they are known as anchoring roots. These anchoring roots will get rotted, means they will get damaged. So from the point of time, this complete dodder will depend upon the host plant only. Okay, so this is about how the dodder will attach to the host plant. Okay, so these dodder are leafless. They don't have any leaf. They are twining. It means they will surround around the dodder plant. And they will coil around it. So they have the no chlorophyll. But some species like Cascuta refluxa, they have very very less amount of chlorophyll. But even though they have the less amount of chlorophyll, that is going to depend upon the host plant. Okay, so it is a parasitic plant. And they are widely distributed, means they are present everywhere. So in the temperate region, also tropical regions of the world. So first you will see the stem. How the stem is like a string like structure. It look like a small wire. Okay, wire like structure, and it is with yellow, okay, yellow or orange colored stem with a brown color. Sometimes it have the brown color or orange color or yellow color. So the leaves are there. The leaves of the dodder is reduced to scales. Okay, so the scales will be in this way. Okay, the scales will be in this way. The leaves are present in this way, in the form of scales that you will see on the body of the fishes. Okay, on the fishes you will see the scales now. So such type of scales is present. Okay, but little bit different shape. So the leaves are reduced to scales. The flowers are like clusters which is made up of thin yellow or bell-like petals. So the flower will be there in this way. The bell-like petals. Okay, so the flower will be in this way. So what is the color? So it is tiny yellow or white color in structure. So next will be the anchoring roots. The anchoring roots are found only during the germination. Here you can see the anchoring roots. Okay, these are the anchoring roots that you can see here. So the spirally grow around the plant. Next, the Hastoria. Hastoria is nothing but root-like structure. Just now we have discussed this is the Hastoria. So the Hastoria is nothing but the root-like structure that penetrates into the host plant, into the xylem, into the tissue. Okay, what is it? Nothing but xylem and phloem vessels, or you can call it as simply tissues. Okay, to draw the water and also nutrients. Xylem and phloem vessels. Okay, so what is a xylem and phloem? These are known as vascular bundles. So what is meant by vascular bundles? Vascular bundles are nothing but the xylem and also the phloem. So the xylem is nothing but it is a channel or tube like conducting vessels. They are responsible for the transportation of water. Okay, transportation of water. And phloem means the food material. The food materials like glucose, starch, etc. They will be carried through the phloem. Okay, so the roots that will get penetrated, the root-like structure, like they are known as hastoria, they will get penetrated into the xylem and phloem vessels for the absorption of food and water. Okay, so this is about it. And daughter finds its way to another plant by covering the branches and fine web-like structure. Let us consider this is the ground. This is the one plant. Okay, one tree or plant. This is another one. Okay, so the daughter is present in this way. The daughter will find its way to find the other branches of the tree. Okay, if the branches of this tree is in contact with this plant, so easily this daughter will enter into the another plant. Okay, so by this way, daughter will cover the entire plant, also other branches of the plant, everything, so that it will look like web-like structure all over the plant. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you. If you have any doubts, okay, you can ask in the comment section, and you can let me know about your doubts, and we will cover about it. Okay, we will clear about your doubts. Okay, so we will discuss the next topic in the next lecture. Okay.